Metro Atlanta sellers, your home isn't sitting because of the market. It's because you keep saying no to these two words. Let's start with what's true right now, not with what was true 2 years ago. Per the Atlanta Realtors Association and the FMLS data from the first quarter of this year, we're sitting at about 5.5 months of supply. That's up from just over 3 a year ago. That is buyers gaining bargaining room to negotiate, but only if you use it right. So the average home across the metro is taking around 58 days to sell. Compare that to 34 days back at the 2022 peak. And metro-wide, the median sale price is about down 2.5% year over year. I'm going to show you exactly what that 2.5% costs a seller who ignores it. Stick with me. Here's the part that nobody says out loud. None of that means that your home is not going to sell. It means the buyer across the table has simply more leverage than a year ago. And if you walk in pretending that it's still 2022, you're the one who's going to pay for that mistake. So mistake number one, you get an offer and it comes with the request like a rate buy down, a closing cost, maybe even both. And your gut says no, because like giving money back at the table feels like losing. And I get why it feels that way. But here's what's actually happening in Georgia right now. Builders like Smith Douglas Homes, they were offering promotional rates near 5% on select quick move-in homes as recently as this May. So that's who you're competing with. That's a fact. So when a buyer walks in to your listing and the builder offers them down the road 5%, but you're not even willing to talk about $2,000 or $3,000 worth of credit, you're definitely not protecting your equity. You're literally simply handing that buyer to the builder. By the way, I'm Melody Kelley, and I help sellers just like you list their home with a pricing strategy that matters. If you'd like to get in touch with me, book a free 1-hour Zoom call. That link is in the description. A concession isn't charity. It's the tool that gets a hesitant buyer to sign instead of walking next door to a brand new build with a lower payment. So mistake number two, and this one costs a lot more than the first. You kind of list at a number that feels right and maybe what your neighbor got 2 years ago. And when it doesn't move within the first 2 weeks, you wait. Then you wait some more. And then by the time that you finally do cut the price, the listing's kind of been sitting long enough that buyers are going to start asking what's wrong with it. So per that same first quarter data, a well-priced home inside the perimeter is selling in around 30 days. An overpriced one or one that needs work can sit past 100. That gap isn't random. It's the exact gap between pricing to today's data and pricing to hope. Your first price cut should really happen based on real showing feedback and days on the market, and not like how long can you emotionally hold out. So here's the actual math. That 2.5% metro-wide dip we talked about on a $400,000 home, that's roughly $10,000 that the market has already priced in, whether you accept that or not. Sellers who refuse a $3,000 concession and then sit 2 extra months and then cut the price by $15,000, you didn't really avoid the cost, you paid it. Plus, it's been sitting there for 2 more months, and that's carrying costs on a house. And if you own a home, then you know what that means. Per GAMLS data, 62% of homes that sold recently included a seller concession. That averages around $4,000. So that's not the exception anymore. That is the going rate to get a deal done. So what should you do instead? Before you ever list, you're going to have to decide that concession number. And then your first price cut trigger in writing before emotions are involved. That way, if an offer comes in with the rate buy down request, inside your number, you say yes before you even finish reading the rest of the terms. And you set a real deadline. Like no serious showing in the first 2 weeks, the price moves before week 3, not after week 6. And again, that's not giving up. It's simply pricing to the data instead of pricing what you wish were true. And the sellers that I work here in Northeast Metro Atlanta, they get that part right because we talk about it before the sign goes in the yard, not after the 3rd week of silence. Now, I'm not ever going to push you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with. I will give you my opinion, and it might be a strong one, but what you do, it is your home, and I want you to decide. I'm not ever going to write that into a contract. Hey, after 7 days, here's what we do. Lower it by this, lower it by this, because it is your home. You've put in the work. And as a homeowner myself, and I'm a single mom, I know exactly how much work goes into a home, whether that is flooring my upstairs, painting my entire home myself, going out there and converting a Olympic-sized beach volleyball court into a grass area. I'm shoveling that red clay Georgia dirt. I've got that pirate ship out there in the yard. I would like to too believe my home is worth not just what it is, but also what I've emotionally invested in. However, if that's my thinking, I may not get near what I want for it simply because I'm not being realistic with my expectations and emotional involvement. So if you are getting ready to list anywhere in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area, and you want to have a real conversation about your number, your concession, and when that first cut happens, book a free 1-hour Zoom call with me. That link is in the description. We walk through the actual data for your street, not last year's. So grab the call and let's get your home priced to sell once, not 3 times. This is Melody Kelley, and I'll see you in the next one.